Good morning, good afternoon, good evening guys. Welcome back to the vlog. It's been a while, I know, and thank you for all the messages asking if everything's okay and when are we going to see another video. That's really cool. It is just gone midnight here in the Faroe Islands. Can't believe I'm in the Faroe Islands. So the last 8 days ago I was in Canada, and now I've pretty much crossed the Atlantic, so it's all been a massive blur, to be honest. But I've got a whole load of stuff I'm going to talk to you about, give you guys a bit of an update on everything, and some of the footage I've got is incredible. So I'm going to share with you the footage that I shot from the last flight, Reykjavik to Vagar here in the Faroe Islands. So I've got some quite nice footage, hope you enjoy that. I'm about to show you, we're about to take off of runway 19 in Reykjavik and head pretty much straight south and then along the coast for about 100 miles and then straight across to the Faroe Islands. So I know you want to see some of the footage, so I'll show you that. Then what we're going to do, we're going to talk in a minute and I'm going to give you an update on a whole load of stuff and answer a few questions. So I will see you shortly, guys.
Taking the time is always hard to find. I can't be sleepless every night. It's looking like dreams only dance behind my eye. Wake me up, I can almost feel you there, coming back for me. Show me what you need to wake me up. I've been breathing in your air, and all the things I dream, keeping you in reach. Is it all in my head? I've been feeling delusional. There must be something I can do.
is an absolutely stunning day here in Iceland. The Atlantic out there. So today we are flying direct to the Faroe Islands. It's over 400 miles, and at the moment we've got 5 hours left. Incredible. This is an amazing place. I'm definitely going to have to come back here. To the Faroe Islands, I've flown 150 miles across this water. There's another 150 miles left. I see a boat out there actually. But conditions are good today, as you can see. We've got 1 hour and 38 minutes left. So I've got a little bit of a tailwind. I've got 93 knots, 93, 94 ground speed. This is really good. And yeah, about an hour and a half left. So this is quite a big flight today, over 400, nearly 450 miles, 300 of it is across this water, but we're almost there now. Welcome to the Faroe Islands, guys. Wow, it's been pretty Jurassic, don't they? It's been incredible. All jagged, the mountains with amazing. Yeah, 1.3. Guys, just look at that for some scenery. Is that incredible or what?
aircraft?
Yes, it is quite a long way. Reykjavik to Vega has never been flown in a gyrocopter. There you go.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you, sir. go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that footage. That flight from Reykjavik to Vega here to the Faroe Islands was actually a really good flight. And there was a little bit of uncertainty around the weather and things, but I use an app called Windy mostly, which has been incredibly accurate. And I'm really impressed with it. It's so much so that I'm probably going to write to them when I get back and say, look, you know, I used your app to basically get around the world, and I was highly impressed with the data and how accurate it's been. It turned out to be a beautiful flight. Once I got out into the middle, the water crossing from Iceland to here was about 300 miles, and you know, as soon as I left the coast of Iceland, it was like it could have been the Caribbean. It was blue sky, blue ocean. It was a really good crossing, and then when I came into Faroe, you saw it was good. So really got quite lucky there. However, not all the flights have been that good. The one before that, Greenland to Reykjavik, that was not such a good flight. It was safe, but there was a lot of very low cloud and poor visibility and rain, and that's one of the reasons why I was quite low. I know I've been getting a lot of questions around why am I flying so low. There's two reasons. Firstly, like the last flight, I didn't have to fly low. I think I was flying around 500 feet, maybe something like that. That's quite a nice height. You're high enough up that you'd have a little bit of time if something was to go wrong, but I don't really think like that. But flying high, you know, 3, 4, 5,000 feet, or even a few thousand feet, when you're over water for a long time and nothing is changing, I find it can be slightly disorientating after a while, because you just don't have a sense that you're actually moving. So I prefer to fly slightly lower, and you get a sense that you're moving. You can see the waves and stuff. And I was actually doing some wildlife, sort of whale watching on the way over here to the Faroes. I saw, and actually even coming from Greenland to Reykjavik, there was a lot of wildlife, loads of whales and things. It was beautiful in terms of like seeing wildlife. So there's a few reasons why I fly like low. I don't do it on purpose, but it's kind of after I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I've flown over a lot of water. And after a while, you kind of find things that work for you. I don't feel any safer flying at 3,000 feet up. To me, it makes zero difference whether I'm at 5,000 feet or 500 feet. The only advantage is if you're higher up and something did go wrong, you might be able to get a message out on the satellite phone and activate the EPIRB and do a few more things before you hit the water. That is one advantage. But I feel really quite comfortable, to be honest. So the reason why I only shared the footage from Reykjavik to the Faroe Islands is I have so much amazing footage that I shot coming out of Iqaluit in Canada, up to Nuuk, then down to Narsarsuaq, and then up round to Kulusuk in Greenland. The footage is incredible, but I'm slightly overwhelmed because I have hours and hours of it, and I need to sit here and really go through it properly. And it's taken a lot longer than I thought. And one of the things that's sort of has been happening over the last sort of since I left Canada really, and have been coming back across the Atlantic, where the flights are a lot longer and they're above water, and it's a little bit more stressful if I'm honest. And what's happening is my body is running on pure adrenaline when I make these flights, and I'm hyped up and happy and excited. But what's happening as soon as I land, that I just have like this massive come down and feel really drained, really drained, like I've just run a marathon or something crazy. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I've kind of been struggling a little bit to get any footage uploaded this past week. I didn't expect to basically cross the Atlantic in the best part of a week. A lot of things came together and I got very lucky basically. It's got nothing to do with being a great pilot. It's just a lot of luck. There's a lot of people that have been watching the weather for me, and the guys back at home, my support team. We've been looking at this closely and making decisions on when to fly, when not to fly. And it's just luck that a whole load of things have kind of come together. So that's kind of a little bit about how I've been feeling. I'm really excited. It's starting to become a little bit more real now that I'm getting closer to home. I'm only one flight from the UK. However, that is not to be underestimated. It's still 250 miles across the North Sea, well, sort of North Atlantic down to Wick. So I'll be flying to Wick. And then once I'm back in the UK, it's just a case of working my way back down to Popham. I don't know, I don't have a route back down, and thank you to everyone who's got in contact saying, oh, come here. I will get back to you all individually, but at the moment I don't know, I'm not quite sure on the route back down. So in terms of a bit of an update, I'm stuck here for the best part of a week. For those of you that do look at the weather and interested in that kind of thing, you'll notice that the remnants of the hurricane Dorian, the one that sort of hit the east coast of the US, that's worked its way up across the North Atlantic, and it is basically, the weather is horrid at the moment. So I was quite lucky to get in front of that. But I'm going to be here for a while. So that's no problem. So that gives me a time to get on top of a few things and get everything ready. It's going to be probably a couple of weeks before I'm back down at Popham. Potentially the weekend of the 21st and 22nd is what I'm trying to look to do. Pretty confident I can get back in time for that. So that should be cool. Someone asked me, who do I speak to when I'm making these long crossings? There isn't really any, you don't get a basic service or flight following when you're hundreds of miles from land in a gyro when you're quite low. An airliner would at 35,000 feet, but it's a little bit different. So I monitor two frequencies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, and 1, 2, 1.5. And I have it on dual monitoring. And actually, yesterday when I flew down here to the Faroes, an airline pilot came up on one of the frequencies asking if anyone was in the vicinity of a particular latitude and longitude. And I thought, he can't be that far from me if I can hear him. But it turned out he was about 100 miles south of me, but because it's high, that's why I was picking him up. And I got on the radio and had a very quick chat with him and told him I was flying around the world in a gyro and I was currently 200 miles north of the Faroe Islands. He didn't really seem that impressed, to be honest. So the answer is, I don't really, you don't really speak to people when you're flying a gyro across these long stretches of water. But I've got a sort of a flight following. My support team at home look at me on the tracker, and I know you guys are looking at the tracker. So I'll tell you one thing, that really is peace of mind to know that there are a lot of people looking at the tracker when I'm making these water crossings, and so that really helps me. Also as well, there's a lot of really lovely kind comments on Facebook and stuff, and I'm sorry I haven't replied to each and every one of them, but I'm really super grateful for the support. So thank you so much, guys. I've pretty much crossed the Atlantic now, so we're close to home, but this is not finished until I'm home. I've still got a big flight back to the UK, and then it's 400 miles. I mean, I could fly in one flight back down to Popham, but I probably won't. So yeah, if you think my efforts are worthy of a donation to the two charities that I'm raising money for, that'd be awesome. The link is in the description below. A lot of people have donated, so thank you ever so much to everyone who has. Raising money for charity is actually quite hard now. The trouble is, over the last 10 years, I've probably done too many things, so people don't tend not to donate anymore, and I get it. But if you are watching and you're fairly impressed with some of the flying that I've been doing, please try and spare a few pounds, dollars, whatever, to go on to the charity links. There's 2 great charities that I'm trying to support, so that would be amazing. That is about it, guys. A little bit of an update. I've got something pretty cool going on tomorrow. The search and rescue team here are taking me out for a little surprise. So I'm going to take the camera and film that. It's now, it's pretty late now, so I'm going to see if I can get this uploaded this evening and get this out, guys. But I think that is about everything. I just wanted to have a little bit of a chat with you, bring you up to speed. There is loads of amazing footage from the whole crossing of Atlantic, Canada, Greenland, all to come. I just have to figure out how I'm going to put it out there. I may hold some back for a possible documentary, or I might just put it all out there. I don't know. If you've got any questions, just let me know, guys. But as always, really appreciate it. Yeah, just absolutely incredible. One of the questions, actually, I'm just looking on my bit of paper. One of the questions was, do I fly in the rain? Yeah, I mean, if you get stuck in rain, you've got no choice. The difficulty with an open cockpit aircraft is the aircraft will fly in basically any weather. But what happens is rain comes in and runs down the inside of the screen and runs down the dash and all over the avionics. And it's that really worries me. So I really try to avoid flying in the rain if possible. But it will keep flying in the rain. It's not a problem, but I try to avoid that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. So I'm going to sign out now, and I'll see you in a couple of days. We're getting closer to home now. It's just that last push. I need to try and stay focused. And the honest reality is, pretty worn out. I'm pretty tired, and I think I am ready to kind of finish now. And this has to be probably the hardest thing I've actually ever undertaken, just mentally. This actually has not been easy. Not that I expected it to be easy, but it's been much more draining mentally than I thought it would be. You have these grand ideas when you set out of doing all this and that, and yeah, I mean, you can take the best plan but throw it out the window as soon as you leave, to be honest. But everything's going well so far. So anyway, guys, that's enough rambling. Just wanted to have a bit of a chat with you, really. I enjoyed doing this, and I really appreciate the support. I know a lot of you have been asking me to upload the videos and you missed them. And yeah, so it's been a bit of a delay, but I'm back and we're still in the game, guys. And potentially keep your diaries free, 21st, 22nd of this month. And I'll be seeing you all real soon. All right, guys, out for now.